It's really me. I was trying to trick you into thinking that there was some strange new person here today. Or did you guess that it was me all along? You did? Aren't you smart? Is this good manners? It is in Malaysia, and that's where I'm pretending to be right now. Not everybody eats the same way, you know. Some people eat with forks and spoons. Others eat with chopsticks. And in Malaysia, and in many other parts of the world too, people eat with their fingers. And they sit on the floor when they eat. I've never tried Malaysian cooking before. This is a typical dish of rice and fresh vegetables, meat, and fish cooked in oil and covered with a sauce. Oh, and a very hot, spicy sauce, too. It's delicious. I must say, this is a handy way to eat it. Oh, the clothes I'm wearing. This is a cotton blouse and a sarong. These are just the right things to wear in a warm climate. They keep you cool and comfortable. My feet are comfortable, too. As you can see, I'm having a good time pretending I'm in Malaysia. But what do you suppose it would be like to really live there? Why don't we take a look at someone your age who does live there and see what we can see? This is Muka. There are no school buses for Muka and his friends. There goes the water buffalo to work. Muka's school is an English school, so the boys dress very much like English boys do. That woman is cutting rice in the fields. At home, Muka and his brothers and sisters speak their own language, but in school they're learning to read another language, English.
My father works in the field with the water buffalo. My father works in the field with the water buffalo. It is hard work. It is hard work.
There's Muka's father, working in the rice paddy.
My mother set the rubber tree. My mother set the rubber tree.
That's Muka's mother. After school, that looks like fun. Muka gets to ride the water buffalo to the well. Everyone goes along to help. Ride's over. You'd be muddy too if you worked in a rice paddy all day. Mothers everywhere have housework, don't they? Muka's mother doesn't have a washing machine, but she gets the clothes clean her way. Muka's father said he's going to the market to buy some fish. Now, isn't that easier than going to the supermarket? Muka's mother's picking some bananas for the supper while the kids play street hockey. And she picks a breadfruit right off the tree. Who's that banana for? Why, the family's monkey, of course. Father puts a leash on the monkey. Ah, see? What better way to get coconuts down? That's one useful monkey. You've had a glimpse of what Mooka's house looks like. Does it look like yours? Or any of your friends? How is it different? Let's take a closer look. This is a model of a house something like Mooka's. The sides are made of teak wood, which comes from trees in the forest nearby. The roof is covered with palm leaves. Do you think this is a comfortable house for a hot climate? Yes, it is. The roof and sides keep out the hot sun and let the cool air in. Did you notice you have to climb a lot of steps to get up into this house? Well, the house is built on stilts. Why is that, do you suppose? Yes, air can get underneath and make it cooler inside, but there's an even more important reason. When the rainy season comes, the water rises high, but not high enough to get into a house that is built on stilts. Now, what does this look at Mooka's life tell us? Lots of things. It tells us that here is a boy who does the same things you do. He eats and sleeps, works and plays, learns, goes to school, and yet he does them in a different way from you. Do you know what this is? Do you know what it stands for? The world, right. The planet Earth, the place where we all live. You and your family and friends, Mooka and his family and friends, and 4 billion other people besides. The others are people you don't know, but they are real people, just like you, with names and faces and thoughts and feelings. Almost everywhere you see land, there are people. Now, you live somewhere in this part of the world. And way over here, there, near the South Pacific Ocean, is where Mooka and his family live. Let's see some other children who live in this part of the world. Ong, the boy with the clay pot on his head, goes to the river every day with his friends to get water for his mother to wash the dishes and the floor. Sometimes he goes to the river to fish and to daydream. The small fish he catches when he's lucky, he dries in the hot sun. Weepa's family make parasols for a living. Weepa works in the open area under her stilt house, painting leaves and flowers on the parasols. The streets near Weepa's house are really canals. She goes to school on a boat bus. Here and here and here, on islands in the Pacific Ocean, are other children living. Let's see what we can find out about them. Haruko, a Japanese girl, is in the 3rd grade. When she came into school today, she took off her shoes and put on sneakers. All the children did. This is a custom in most Japanese schools. Manuel lives in a big city in the Philippines. He plays in the school band and loves to march in parades. It is Dance Festival Day in Samoa, and the children are practicing one of the dances. Over their wrap-around cloth skirts, they are wearing skirts made of tree bark that has been split into strips. Because Samoa is a warm, sunny island, most Samoan children go barefoot all year round. And halfway around the world from where Mooka and those other children live is this very large continent. Do you know what it is? Africa, right. It is very hot in most places in Africa. It is especially hot in the Kalahari Desert, where Qui and his family live. Qui doesn't go to school. His father teaches him how to hunt wild animals and how to make a fire. Qui's tribe have to spend most of their time gathering food in order to stay alive. Latifa lives in Morocco. Latifa's mother is teaching her how to take care of their tent house, how to cook, and how to pour tea. Lots of children live in South America, too. Let's see. That's this continent here, just below ours. Jose and Ernesto live in Argentina. They help their father, who was a farmer, by working in the fields and by taking care of the oxen. Suka and her family live in South America, too. They are Indians. Suka takes her pet pig with her wherever she goes. While Suka's mother weaves, the whole family is taking care of a herd of llamas which is grazing nearby. Now, what about some of the children who live in our own continent, North America? Right here. What about Ulak, who lives way up here where it is very cold most of the year? Or Little Star, who lives about here where it is sometimes very cold and sometimes very hot? Ulak is an Eskimo boy who likes to go fishing in the boat his father made him of walrus hide. When the weather is warm enough and the ice is all melted, sometimes his brothers go fishing with him. Little Star is a Navajo girl. Her family earns a living raising sheep and goats. Little Star can shear a sheep herself. We've seen just a few of the more than 4 billion people that live in the world with you. Just a few of your relatives and mine. Your relatives? How can I say that? How can these children whom you've never met, probably don't look like and don't talk like, be your relatives? Well, there is one good answer. They are all human, just like you. That alone makes you related to everybody else in the world. And just like you, they get hungry and need to eat. They get cold and need to have clothes to wear. They get sleepy and they want a safe place to sleep. And they sometimes feel afraid and want to be comforted, or lonely and want to have friends. There are many different ways of living, but we all need the same things to stay alive. That's everybody else and you.
All About You is a project of the Agency for Instructional Television.